December, that's when the channel got made. 0 subscribers, no videos, absolutely nothing on it. And 4 months later, it was past the 2,000 subscribers. So I'm gonna take you through what actually happened in order, and that includes the two things we got wrong at first, because that's usually the most useful part. Okay, now there's a lot of content out there about growing channels, and almost none of it comes from somebody who does this for other people at scale. And that matters more than it sounds, because once you're doing it at scale, you stop believing most of what the growth advice actually says. Okay, so you watch the same clip do 400 views on one page and 200,000 on another. Same clip, same week, different page. And once you've seen that happen a few times, the just make better content stops feeling like a complete answer. Okay, just a quick note on who this is for. If you're already making stuff and it's not going anywhere, stay with me. If you're still trying to work out what to post, this is the wrong video for you. Okay, so 4 things happened here in this order. The clips got separated from the person. Other accounts carried them. We threw away more than half of everything, and the final numbers ended up somewhere I can't even touch. Okay, let's go through them. The first one was separating the clips from the person. What we decided was to treat his raw footage like a warehouse rather than a pile of finished posts. And here's what pushed us there. We started off with stuff he'd already posted because that felt like it was a safe option. Why guess when you've got data, right? Okay. And it actually did worse than the stuff he'd thrown away. Okay, I want to be honest about how long that took us, because the timing actually matters. It wasn't a light bulb moment because initially we thought we edited badly. So we cut it again and we got the same result. Then we thought maybe it was just a creator, so we tried somebody else and got the same result again. It was probably 3 weeks before anybody said out loud that maybe this whole idea was wrong. And the reason it was wrong is that anything working on your own account is working because those people already know you, which is a completely different crowd from the one you're trying to reach. So the rule became that the clip has to work for somebody who has no idea who you are. And that held up with every creator since. Is it always true? No, but it keeps being true. Okay? There's an awkward side effect to that, which I should mention. The clips that end up working are usually not the ones the creator would have picked. So for about a month, it feels to them like we don't understand their content at all. And I warn people about that on day 1 now, because if you don't, month 1 just feels like a mistake to everybody involved. The second thing is the accounts that carry it. We went with pages that only post clips instead of using his own account. And again, we got it wrong first because we went after the big accounts. Obviously, right? More followers, more views, and the views came from small pages with one job instead. 16,000 followers with one job beats a million with 5 jobs. And here's why that happens. The algorithm learns what a page is for. So a mixed page gets shown to a mixed crowd, and whatever you post lands in front of people who came for something else entirely. A page that only does one thing doesn't have that problem because everything it's ever posted points to the same direction. So the app knows exactly who to send it to. That's the whole thing, really. It's not complicated. It's just the opposite of what everybody assumes. And if we run this for you, those pages already exist and you just plug into them, which is the actual product anyway. Moving on. The third thing was what we threw away. Across the whole network, we have over 6,082 clips sent in, and we approved about 2,578. So that's like a 42%. At the start, we approved almost everything on the logic that more clips mean more chances. But what actually happened is that the weak ones taught those pages to reach the wrong people. And then the good clips behind them did way worse than they should have. And the hard part is the delay on it. You're not gonna see the damage in the weak clip. You see it 3 weeks later in a strong clip that flops. And nobody connects those two things. That took us a while to work out, okay? So there's something that follows from all that, which I think is worth saying out loud. Every view number we publish is the lower one because the clips we reject still went out and still got views. We just don't count them, okay? So throwing things away is part of the product, and our numbers look smaller because of it, all right? Now, here's the thing I'm not gonna hand over. How we recruit our team, how we build a network, how we keep hundreds of them hitting the same standard, and how we pay them so the whole thing doesn't rot. That's the boring, expensive part. And honestly, it's the only bit that's generally hard. Okay? Because if I gave you our standard as a document tomorrow, you just have a document. You wouldn't have the 300 people actually following it in month 9 when they're tired and just posting a lazy clip is faster. And that gap isn't information. That's a year and a half of a lot of money spent, and a lot of it is just dull, okay? So everything I just told you about clips and pages and rejection is true. And you still couldn't build this from it, all right? And I'd rather say it than pretend this video is gonna be enough, all right? The last one, where it ended up. 12 campaigns and more than 30 million views, which again is only the clips we approved. And then the number I don't control, which is past 50,000 and something subscribers on a channel that didn't exist in November, a couple months ago, okay? The handle is at Favdafaka. Now, the question I usually get here is, okay, but does this work for my kind of content? And the honest answer is, I don't know. Because it depends on whether your stuff survives being taken away from you. Some formats do and some just don't. Long stories, anything that builds over 20 minutes, anything where the value is that people like you rather than a moment in itself, that's a lot harder. And sometimes it just doesn't work at all. And I'd rather tell you that than pretend this is going to work for everybody, okay? So that's the case, and you don't need me to check any of it because the channel is public, the clips are public, and the view counts are public. If you want to see a bigger picture, why just one account is a ceiling, and what actually carries your stuff, I'll save that for the next video. The link is here up top or down below here in the description. I'll see you there.